As promised, going to do a quick breakdown on Eurgbp. Now, I'm going to focus on an intraday and day trade perspective. So we're going to skip over the macro stuff because I feel like that's a bit long term. So let's first start with the fundamental data. So as some of you may or may not know, the euro did extremely well last year. We saw some of the strongest bullish movements that we've seen on the euro in years. So 2020 was an incredible year for the euro, and some people may even say that the euro could be the new safe haven currency. Now that's a topic for another day, so I'm not going to get into that right now. And of course, we had the pound. Now the pound, again, very stagnant, not much movement on the pound last year. If anything, we can say there was a lot of bearish sentiment, but mainly around, obviously, we like to call the Brexit saga. 1 minute we're gonna have a deal, next minute there's no deal. So there was a lot of a tug and pull, not sure what was actually going to happen. So of course, investors do not like uncertainty, and we saw that when looking at the pound in 2020. Now, what did we see here? I remember this was around December. As you can see, price, this is what we would consider a double top formation on the daily time frame. So let me just circle that so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So here, this would be considered a double top formation, which is usually an indication to sell, right? So even from just a purely technical perspective, we would potentially be looking at short positions. Now, at one point, we did see a major pullback on this particular pair, and this is why I say you always have to wait for a pullback for further confirmation, because of course, if you did sell here, your stop loss definitely would have been taken out. Right now, as you can see here, price, once there was an announcement that we were going to have a deal in terms of the EU and the UK, that a deal has finally come to pass. They've agreed on something. We saw the pound rally, and the pound rallied across the board, which is what you can see here, a sell-off on the pound against the euro, right? So this is why we're seeing this downward movement. But do you find it's quite interesting how the technical aligns so perfectly with the fundamental analysis, because this is actually an evening star formation, right? So this is an evening star formation, which is also a selling pattern, a selling indication, so an indication to sell, right? So even if you weren't up to date with the fundamentals, you can see that just from a technicals, you'll be looking to to sell this particular currency pair. Now, moving forward, we want to wait for a pullback before we add on our sell positions on this particular currency pair. We're already long on GBP USD, and that's already in profit, so we may not even take this particular trade. But as you can see, we're going to wait for a pullback. Now, we're not going to wait for price to pull all the way back to this resistance area, just because we don't think that will happen. But if we can get a decent pullback, which we believe is reasonable, for us to enter a short position with a great risk to reward, we'll be looking to do that. So maybe just a pullback around this level, and then we'll look for our short positions down to this target area. Now, I believe that some of you may think, well, this looks like a swing trade, but I don't think that price will take too long to hit this level. I mean, how many pips? So just under 100 pips. Let's see how many pips we have to this target. So let's say we select this level. So this is a 2% move, 184 pips. So if we simply judge, I don't know, this daily move, this was a 100 pip move. So really and truly, it could take 2 days for price to hit this level. Now, that would be our next day trade position on Eurgbp in particular. We are 100% bearish on this currency pair, so we're looking for strictly shorts. And to be honest with you, we don't get better technical bearish indicators than this, right? Triple top formation, evening star formation, also underneath a strong resistance area as well. All signs are telling us to sell. And of course, our long bias on GBP USD is also, we could call, a rough confirmation that this is going to go down as well. So yeah, this is Euro GBP, just a brief breakdown of why we're looking to go short, at what level we're going to be looking to go short, and the potential take profit target. Now, the only thing that's going to make you or break you when taking this trade is, number one, where you put your stop loss. Number two, your patience. And number three, well, that's it actually. Your stop loss and patience. That's the only thing that should really, mess you up on this trade. And of course, your risk management. So that's what I was getting. So your risk management. So your stop loss, patience, and risk management. So you're not over leveraging yourself on this particular position. But apart from that, we should see we should hit this target before Wednesday next week, potentially. But let's see. Wishing you all a happy new year. And don't forget, you can join us for 1 week free by clicking the link in my bio. We've got a lot of incredible setups and opportunities on its way. Again, happy new year.